What's up, y'all? It's your girl Nicole. Thank you for connecting to Divine Star Energy. And on today's video, we're going to be talking about the moon through the houses. Moon in the 11th house, you have an emotional connection to organizations or friends, or 11th house also rules over your wishes. So you have an emotional connection to your goals in life. You also could be like the type of friend who everybody feels comfortable talking to you because you make yourself so selfless to where you're available for everybody with open arms, and you make them feel nurtured, you make them feel cared for, you make them feel important. You might struggle with differentiating yourself from your friend groups to where you're so involved in your friends, or you're so involved in whatever causes that you're a part of, that you don't give yourself enough individuality. You don't see yourself apart from the group. Your whole life is revolved around this cause that you're a part of, this group or this organization. So you could be in a sorority, and if something's going on with your sorority sisters, your whole world is just torn apart, and you're like, you can't think of anything else that is more important than being a part of that sorority. And if you get kicked out, it's like, oh God, life is over. Or you could be a part of some type of cause. If you represent, like, for example, if you lost a loved one to cancer and you're a part of like the breast cancer foundation, and your whole life is dedicated to helping survivors of breast cancer, or to helping the family of victims of breast cancer, and you're so devoted to that cause to where you don't even pay attention to your own health, you don't even go to the doctor like you need to, but you're so devoted and your emotions are all into whatever your cause is, or whatever your friendship group dynamic is. You're so involved with what's going on with your friends and helping your friends that you don't recognize yourself as an individual and see, who you are outside of those causes, outside of your relationship with your friends, outside of your relationship with your sorority sisters, outside of your relationship with your fraternity brothers, outside of whatever cause that you could be a part of with Moon in the 11th house. You might find it hard. You might find it hard to take actions independently. So you need to learn, like, what is the reason for you being a part of those friend groups and those organizations? What is the core reason of you wanting to be a part of those groups, and how do you stand out alone away from those groups? Who are you without those organizations and without those groups? And like I said, the 11th house also stands for wishes fulfilled and goals. So who are you without reaching those goals? Do you understand that you're still an individual, whether or not you're friends with these people that you're so close to in your friend group, whether or not you're a part of this cause that you created and that you support and that you're the founder of, whether or not you're a part of that sorority or that fraternity group? You need to know who you are, and you need to have a sense of reassurance that you are an individual, and you are special, and you are creative, and you are helpful, and you are important regardless of whatever else you're a part of. Moon in the 12th house, baby. Let me take a drink. So the 12th house, some people call it the house of mirrors. Some people call it the house of isolation, the house of subconscious mind, the house of the mental health, the house of, I'm trying to find the good things to say about it, the house of spirituality, the house of dreams. Yeah. So you could be very intuitive with Moon in the 12th house. You could be, 12th house is the unknown, okay? 12th house is the spiritual realm, okay? So just like the 8th house, you are very, very intuitive. You are there with the realm of the spirit. You're there with God. You have that God energy. You have that Christ consciousness, whether you know it or not, whether you're aware of it or not. And for some people, the energy is way, way too heavy. It's too much. This is a water house. It's always changing. It's a mutable water house. It's a mutable feminine water house. So it's a receiving type of house where moon, is a receptive energy. So with moon here in this receptive water house, you could always find yourself changing and being a chameleon to other people's emotions. You are an emotional sponge. You soak up every type of vibration and energy that you surround yourself with. So you have to be very careful about your surroundings. You have to be very careful about the people that you let close to you, because you literally can become that energy. You literally are like the chameleon, and you change according to your environment. You change according to the people that you are around. So if you're around negative people, you tend to become more negative, whether you notice it on a conscious level or not, because this is the subconscious mind, and your emotions are being affected on a subconscious level. So a lot of this stuff you might not even notice, but it could come to you through your dreams. So you might dream about people with negative intentions for you, people who are your enemies. And in your waking life, you might question whether or not that's true, even though intuitively you know that these people don't have the best interest for you. They aren't coming with the best intentions. They are coming from a negative place. However, this is also the 12th house. The 12th house is co-ruled by Neptune. So there's a lot of deception when it comes to your emotions. So you don't really know how you should feel sometimes. You might question whether or not you're being overly judgmental. Like, you question your intuition when your moon is in the 12th house. You're like, I know this is bad, but then you're like, but is it really? Like, you go back and forth with yourself with moon in the 12th house. You also could suffer from depression with moon in the 12th house, especially if you have a conjunction with Saturn in the 12th house. You hate like materialistic, superficial things, because your mind, your emotions are in the spirit realm. They're, Jupiter rules the 12th house, so you're all about higher wisdom. You're all about expanded consciousness. So to go down to this mundane level of thinking about little stupid things that, like, okay, what did Kim Kardashian eat today? Like, nobody fucking cares. With moon in the 12th house, they're like, hey, how do we help the world? How do we save the world? How do we stop hunger? How do we stop war? That's where your mind is. That's where your emotions are. With moon in the 12th house, you could be prone to like escapism, because the 12th house ruled by Pisces and Neptune and Jupiter, you could be prone to just always wanting to get away. It represents the house of isolation. So you could always either want to get to a place where you're alone by yourself. You might end up in jail sometimes. You might end up in a hospital sometimes, in a psychiatric ward. You might just find yourself spending a lot of time at home in the comfort of your bed and just not wanting to be bothered with other people, because your emotions sometimes become overwhelming, because this is the house of Jupiter. So sometimes your emotions are too much. You have a strong emotional need of isolation, to just regroup and to be able to regenerate the energy that you lose when you soak up other people's energy. And it's like, you could be that type of person where people feel so comfortable coming to you with all their bullshit, and once they do, it's like they let out all the garbage or all the toxins that they've experienced, and you soak it up. And now you're feeling like they failed, and they're feeling so much better. And you're like, some people don't even on a conscious level know what's going on. But that's what's happening when, you know, you have those friends who they sit there and talk to you for 2-3 hours every 2 to 3 weeks about everything they've been going through with their cheating boyfriend or cheating husbands, and he done had 5 kids with another girl, and he had her driving in my car, and I was at work and he spent my credit card money on her. Like, you soak up all that, and you tell them, like, you soak up all that, you tell them something that's going to make them feel amazing. Like, girl, you know, you don't deserve that. You deserve better. You're a great person. Like, you're very great with Moon in the 12th house. You're really good at being able to, like, help other people out their funk, and then you get in the funk, and then you don't even know why you're in the funk. But it's because you soaked up all the negative energy from other people, and you gave them yourself. You sacrifice yourself. Basically, you sacrifice yourself with Moon in the 12th house. So you have to be careful about that, and you have to be conscious of when you're doing that, so that you can take those breaks that you need and spend that time alone. And that time you're going to able and take the time that you need to regenerate your energy and pour back into yourself, because this is a self-sabotaging energy. This is a self-sacrificing energy. With Moon in the 12th house, you're always giving of your emotions to everyone else. And likely, you might be the type of person who you don't even really want to deal with what's going on with you. You know it's something, but you don't really want to deal with it. You don't really want to get to the bottom of it. You want to just swim away, because Pisces rules the 12th house. So you just want to go in the other direction. Like, let me not pay attention to the fish that represents me. Let me pay attention to the fish that represents everybody else, and I'll get back to me later. But the problem with that is that you're always stuck there with yourself. You're not always stuck with other people. You know very well you can isolate yourself from other people. But then when you're alone, you have to deal with yourself. No matter what, you're always going to have to deal with yourself. You're always going to have to deal with your emotions. So it's better to learn to balance out your life and to take command and to take charge of your emotions, so that they don't take command and take charge of you with Moon in the 12th house. So comment below if you resonate with anything that I've said. Also, drop your moon placement. What house is your moon in, and what sign is it in? I'm going to do the moon through the signs next. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you're not already a part of that. And I'll leave a link on YouTube for you to join us on Facebook, because we would love to have you. And I plan to start doing some lives, so stay tuned.